The Oklahoma Sooners are rolling into the bye after a huge win against Texas last week. Let's take a look at how they got here, what they can improve on, and project the rest of the regular season. This team has already matched its win total from last year, and it is no secret where it starts along the offensive side of the ball, and that is with the improvement of Dillon Gabriel. All the people who were calling for Jackson Arnold to get the nod over Gabriel can finally shut up. This is not the same quarterback that struggled with ball placement and seemed to lack confidence in big moments last season. And I'm not just riding the high of Red River, where he etched his name in Sooner history with his leadership, effort, and revealed clutch gene in the game-winning drive. Gabriel has improved by leaps and bounds in his decision-making, accuracy, and most importantly, his ability to be the vocal leader of the team and the visible passion he shows on the field. He reminds me of Jalen Hurts in that Sooner fans may not appreciate him as much as they should while he's here, but at the end of the year, we might be seeing him at the Heisman Trophy ceremony, leading the team to a college football playoff berth. It's important here to also give credit to the pass blocking along the offensive line. Gabriel has had a relatively clean pocket through most of this early season, and it has given him the time to make his reads and get the ball where it needs to be. It all starts up front. The run game has been one of the few disappointing aspects of this team. Running back by committee seems to be more forced than a choice, since no one has truly emerged from the pack. Although if I had it my way, Tawee gets the nod here. While the unit seems to lack the ability to make guys miss in one-on-one situations, at least Tawee is good to run dudes over. I don't think there's a lack of talent at the position, but the run blocking has done the backfield absolutely no favors. Pass and run blocking feel like night and day at this point. On the positive side, they did compete and play tough against a great Texas D-line. Receivers were the big question mark on offense coming into the season, and it has evolved into a strength of this team and probably the deepest position group. Gabriel spreads the ball around the entire group, and 6 receivers have 10 or more receptions. Michigan transfer Andrel Anthony leads the team in yards, and freshman Nick Anderson has burst onto the scene with a team-high 6 receiving touchdowns, including the game winner against Texas. That's not even to mention the sure hands of Stoops, explosiveness of Farouk, speed of Freeman, and Gibson's ability to make big-time grabs. Hopefully the injury to Anthony isn't too serious and the bye week gives him the time he needs to heal, but if he can't go, there is plenty of talent to step up in his absence. Tight ends were finally utilized a little bit last game, but they have been another disappointing group, both with their usage in the pass game and their blocking. It will be another group that hopefully improves through the season. I'll hold my tongue on Jeff Lebby. He called a great game against the Longhorns. With the team top 10 in yards per game and top 5 in points per game, at this point I just feel spoiled complaining. It isn't perfect, but the result through 6 games is clear. This offense is one of the best in the nation. And while I don't think it's realistic they continue to average over 45 points per game, if they keep it up, the Sooners will be a tough team to beat the rest of the year. There is no doubt about it. This team is a whole different animal with the improvements seen by the defense on every single level possible. I could pick just about any stat imaginable to illustrate this fact, but I'll go with the one that is most clear. Last year's team allowed just under 30 points per game. This year's squad allows 14. Enough said. Along the defensive line, the group has shown ability to generate pressure on the quarterback and plug up holes to allow linebackers to generate TFLs. The group is deeper with a talented pool of transfers and big men that have just stepped up into their roles, helping make the Oklahoma front one to actually be feared by opposing teams. It's finally clicked this year at linebacker. You could tell last season there was confusion, whether it was misalignment, missed assignment, you name it, it happened. But this year, guys are in position. Danny Stutzman will be on the short list when it comes to end-of-year awards. Kanak has had the game slow down for him, allowing him to utilize his athleticism, and McCullough has provided the impact I thought he'd have coming in as a transfer. Losing Harrington hurts, but it's been a welcome sight to see the unit make leaps and bounds from last year. The secondary has also seen massive improvement. Sure, there's been a share of busted coverages, but far more often, guys are in position to make plays, whether it's picking the ball off or making the immediate tackle. I could basically name every single defensive back when it comes to improvement here, but I'll name one: Peyton Bowen. The kid is going to be special. As a whole, the defense has done everything that was advertised when Venables first stepped foot in Norman as head coach.
We will employ an exciting, fast, explosive, and diverse offense, combined with a physical, punishing, relentless, suffocating defense.
Physical, punishing, relentless, suffocating. All 4 descriptors are accurate. The positioning, the communication, tackling, ability to produce turnovers, competitive depth at all positions, it brings a tear to my eye. And the best part is, despite all the improvement, there is still room for more. The sky is the limit for this defense, and man is it good to have a competent one in Norman again. If that 4-down goal line stand against Texas didn't make you call a doctor after 4 hours, then I question your love of football. Finally, special teams. Punting needs help. At this point, there isn't much you can do about it, besides cross your fingers and hope for a good bounce. The same thing goes for the kicking unit. Overall, my confidence is at an all-time low here, but so far it hasn't cost the team. So far. While I'm admittedly on top of the world after last week, there are two major areas that the team needs to improve heading into the home stretch of the season. First is, of course, the run blocking. One of the things that makes Jeff Lebby offenses so deadly is the ability to run the ball effectively and consistently. It also helps put teams away at the end of games. Oklahoma sits at the bottom third of the Big 12 in yards per carry at 4.1. The offense is far from stagnant, but improving this will help take pressure off Gabriel and improve the offense's time of possession, giving the defense even more time to rest. On the defensive side of things, again, I'm nitpicking a bit here, but the secondary has had some big busts that have led to touchdowns. It comes with the territory when the defense plays aggressively, and a bit of give and take here. You have more opportunity to create turnovers and TFLs, but there is opportunity to get burned badly. So far it's paid off for the Sooners, but let's hope it doesn't come back to bite them at some point this season. Looking ahead to the rest of the regular season, Oklahoma should be favored in every game moving forward. But there is a reason you play each of these games. Anything can happen any given Saturday. UCF at home next week should be a game where Gabriel has the opportunity to silence all the fans that have taken shots at him from his former school. They will be coming off 3 straight losses and will head to Norman with nothing to lose. After that, the Sooners travel to Kansas in what could be the second toughest matchup of the year. The Jayhawks with a healthy Jalen Daniels are a dangerous team to be reckoned with, and playing in Lawrence is no longer a glorified home game. Don't sleep on this team. The final edition of Bedlam takes place in Stillwater. I don't care if OSU came into this game winless. It's called Bedlam for a reason. Don't forget 2002. Unranked Oklahoma State upsets number 3 Oklahoma at home. Don't look past the pokes. The game against West Virginia should be a revenge game that the Sooners will be fired up to play. But keep in mind, this could be a game with Big 12 title implications. The Mountaineers are currently undefeated in Big 12 play and don't play Texas this season. The late season trip to BYU was one that everyone had circled on their calendars preseason as a difficult test for the Sooners. While BYU hasn't lit the world on fire so far, they've played well, and playing them in Provo is a tough task. This will be the Sam Bradford revenge game. Finally, after a short week, the Sooners end the year playing TCU at home. While the Horned Frogs haven't been playing well this year, again, it will be important not to look ahead to the potential Big 12 title game or college football playoff berth. Each of these games should be a win for Oklahoma if they play to their standard. You could go as far to say that if the Sooners do lose a regular season game from here onward, they really beat themselves. But again, all it takes is to not show up one time. In the words of Spencer Rattler, this game is every team's Super Bowl. Play as if it is yours too. But that's the great thing about this edition of Brent Venables' Sooners. It really does feel like they prepare that way. The doom and gloom I had last year has been replaced with shining optimism for the rest of the season. This team truly has the potential to be a special one. Only time will tell if they live up to it. But in the words of RJ Young, don't pay Oklahoma no mind. Speaking of special, I expect Oklahoma to play up to that standard when they make the transition to the SEC next season. And this video explains why. As always, have a great day and see y'all at the next one.